know what it is now. 2 warriors, 2 lions. Let's go to war.
Your head off. Shut the up.
The build-up was perfect.
These belts are your curse.
This bad blood started a long time ago.
When I really believe something, then they can't deny me.
One of the most dramatic fights I've ever witnessed.
The dream was bigger than anything. The legacy is bigger than anything.
It's a defining moment.
You know, the thing is, with my upbringing, I was playing rugby league. I was always wanted to be a footy player. I started to put on a lot of weight. I was bullied at school, you know, and as a kid, you'd go to school, you're overweight, you're not fitting in with the cool kids.
He was a little bit quiet, he was sort of like becoming a little bit isolated, and I was just wondering what's going on. And he just says, oh, Dad, you know, like, you know, kids pick on me, they call me fat.
It's a time where, you know, you think to yourself, do I even want to go to school? We just decided, yeah, one day that, you know, we've got to get this fitness better, and we fell into boxing. First walking up the stairs, the boxing gym, and just the smell of the place, the gym, the bags, run down kind of place, and it was very, you know, new for me. Day by day as a young kid, as the weight started coming off, the love for the sport really just took over, and I couldn't wait to be in the boxing gym. After the first few amateur fights, after getting some good victories, I started to realise that, okay, one day I can be world champion. And as I kept progressing more and more, the dream became stronger.
My first impression was, with discipline, dedication, this kid was going to be a good one. You knew that he was something special.
The first impression of Georgie as a fighter is that he had big kahunas, like big kahunas. He come to the gym, get some rounds with the big boys, you know. I mean, I was a super middleweight. Georgie was a lightweight. True Georgie's nature, he held his own, and he was a warrior. I saw that warrior spirit from a very early age. I knew he was destined for big things.
George got his New South Wales title in his 3rd fight. He got his Australian title against Toomey that everyone said George won't beat. It's too early for George to fight. Once we had cleaned out the Australian boxing scene, the lightweights, Ogilvies and the Barlers and the top end, it was time to go overseas and test George's mettle.
We started sparring against the best of the best, started mixing up against the hard veterans. I've fought for free, I've lost money. I've fought for very small amounts of money. If it was going to be only about the money, like a lot of fighters here in Australia just focus on, then, you know, I would have done that. I would have stayed here. The dream was bigger than anything. The legacy is bigger than anything.
Making the move overseas, training overseas, fighting overseas, away from our comfort zones, manoeuvring George in the right direction with the right fights, getting into the Selby fight, gets the eliminator, and
popped up. The dream really cemented itself. I said, you know what? We're going to beat this guy.
Kambosos has got it! What a win, world #1, mandatory, Lopez. You know what it is now, and that's the fight I want next. Unified title shot.
I called him out, no one wanted to fight this guy. He just destroyed Lomachenko. You know, he's knocking everybody out. I thought Kambosos is mad. Maybe he's just doing it for hype, but when I really believe something, then they can't deny me.
We knew that Teo was a champion. We knew that he beat Lomachenko. He did it in style, dangerous fighter. But this is what we want. This is what we worked for. We've worked for this opportunity. George has worked for this his whole life.
The initial attraction to this fight was to try and bring Teofimo Lopez to DAZN. Little did we know that George would tear up the script.
I've been visioning this on the late night runs, you know, as a young 11, 12-year-old, running at night late, and just thinking that one day I'll be here, I'll be fighting for all the belts. So it's not new. I've been here, I've dreamt it, I've seen it. Yeah, the first time we ever locked eye to eye. Obviously we'd met before that, and everything was nice and friendly. And then we got to face off and actually go eye to eye. Looking to a soulless kid, a kid that I knew could be broken very easily.
This bad blood started a long time ago. A long time ago.
You know, his father's very, crazy. He likes to try to get into the heads of the opponents. He did get into Lomachenko's head, but my father has got my back.
Kambosos! You're gonna get your ass kicked!
All of a sudden I hear Lopez Senior's voice coming, and it's getting closer, and it's getting closer.
First round, baby! You saw that shit, right? You saw that shit, bro.
Well, didn't that turn out to be an embarrassment on his end?
You wanna walk across this line? Hey, I'm gonna you up first.
When I saw the video between Kambosos' team mixing it up with Teofimo Lopez's father, I was like, oh, it might get too far because Lopez's father is legitimately crazy.
You, motherfucker! You and your coach, you pussies! You got an MMA coach! You got an MMA coach! You got an MMA coach, bitch!
Boxers and teams are encouraged to sort of try and play up a little bit. I don't like that. I like it when it's passionate, when it's real.
Don't look at me like that, boy!
We showed that we are here to fight no matter if we're in your hometown. We're not taking a step backwards. It doesn't matter if it's one of us, it's against the whole stadium. We're here to fight. We'll go for every man to get what's ours.
Everything was at boiling point. Everyone was walking around on eggshells, and there was a lot leading up into this fight, a lot.
We are ready to go on Saturday night here at Madison Square Garden. There was no feelings around fight week from the media, from people involved in boxing, that George Kambosos would actually win this fight.
My eyes don't f***ing lie. My eyes don't f***ing lie.
Trying to get away.
Rip your head off. I'll rip your head off, boy.
Well, after Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko, his whole world changed and the whole perception about him changed. Not only was he outboxing the likes of Lomachenko, but he had so much power and he was so massive for the division. He was just a tiger, and you were expecting him to, just eat right through Kambosos without much problem.
I love being the underdog. It keeps that hunger, that motivation there to keep proving people wrong. The odd makers can do whatever they want. They can have me, 100 to 1. Beautiful. All my friends are going to make money.
Let's do it. We're out there. Ready for war. Long time coming.
He flicked the switch in the changing rooms to turn himself into that guy who was ready for war.
I said, go out and just do it, mate. Just go out and you show the world, and obviously yourself first and foremost, who you are tonight.
You're going out there, everything you've done, you're going to put it out there. Yeah.
I've dreamt of this, countless of times. I've thought about this so many times on the late night runs, on the early morning runs, in the hard, sparring rounds, in the gyms all around the world. I've dreamt of this moment, and the moment's here.
Well, Teofimo Lopez, when he came down, it was like Mardi Gras, down in New Orleans. It's his hometown, New York. He's from, I believe, Brooklyn, right down the street, and they were all hooting and hollering and screaming for him.
This crowd just booing him. 6,000 people, absolutely hometown Brooklyn, New York, booing George Kambosos.
I stood on the end of the apron. I looked at them all one last time. I took a deep breath, and I said, this is my moment. I'm here to win this fight by any means necessary.
George was just walking around pumped in the ring, sort of psyching himself up. And both guys were really highly charged.
Doesn't get much bigger than this. Round one, scheduled for 12, and Teo comes out firing.
Teofimo Lopez came out of the corner in the first round like Usain Bolt out of the blocks. I mean, he went right after Kambosos, and Kambosos wasn't scared. Kambosos is throwing a shot.
They've been jawing all week. Good little counter left from Kambosos.
He told the world he was going to end that fight in the first round. And after a minute, I would have bet that he was going to end that fight in the first round.
No, big right hand connected right on the chin from Teofimo.
I knew he'd come out crazy. I knew I'd weather the storm. He landed a couple good shots.
Kambosos just eating these right hands.
Heavy shots. You could hear the punches thudding against the chest and the ribs of George Kambosos and the side of the head.
I set him up. I waited for him to make that mistake. He got heavy on the front foot. Took that double step backwards like I've been doing my whole career, and boom.
What a right hand!
I was like, ah! You know, it was so unexpected. It was almost like you're in a haunted house and the thing jumps out at you. You didn't expect it.
I was out of my seat. I was like, boom, brah. You know, I was like, gave my brother a hug.
Everybody stood up in that crowd. Everyone went quiet. Everyone thought, that's not supposed to happen.
That punch changed everything. He stamped his authority on that fight as if to say, no, Teofimo, not tonight.
And then all of a sudden, Lopez jumps up, and I remember thinking, what's going to happen now?
And then the next shot I came flying in when I slipped over his front leg was an even more devastating shot, but his senses were awake at that stage, and that's when the fight really began. You saw me when that bell went. I looked in the eyes and said, hey, now we're here to fight.
Incredible stuff. Lopez says you wanted a fight. You got to fight.
That first round was one of the most incredible things I've ever witnessed in boxing.
I don't think he was hurt that bad. He was more embarrassed than anything. So now he's thinking, what's my plan B? Those guys did not have a plan B.
Round 2 onwards is when the fight really started. I got to show everything I had.
If you
you might not want to get close. We a little wild war.
The game plan was beautiful to a T. Pick him apart, work off that beautiful jab, catch him with the left hook, catch him to the body, rip him over with the right hands, and just pick him apart.
The bases looking real bad. We back to the bone.
He was more active, he was more accurate, and he was hitting it with some power shots. It was impressive to watch.
Feel as we heartless. Take a pick inside of darkness.
The amazing thing about George's performance was he did a bit of everything. You know, he boxed, he sat in the pocket, he traded, he boxed on the inside, he boxed off the back foot, but he was winning rounds.
So as those rounds are ticking by, his old man in the corner is giving him the worst trainer's advice, trying to get him up, lying to him. You start looking in T.A.'s eyes. T.A. knew that his dad's bullshitting to him. T.A. knew that, hold on. What you're telling me is wrong. I know that I'm losing this fight, and this guy is literally boxing my head off.
The feeling in the arena, to me, the sensation I had was just like, I want it to end, but I don't want it to end. I want to see someone land a knockout, but I was enjoying it so much. One of the best fights I've been able to call.
Teofimo is very talented. You cannot switch off with guys like this for one moment.
Everyone's well aware of Teofimo's power, and he can turn the fight at one moment. The first thing that I thought was, it's over. Because George looked tired, he looked hurt, and we all know how good Teofimo Lopez is at finishing.
Thoughts of my grandfather, thoughts of my family, thoughts of my kids, thoughts of everyone that's been on this hard road with me. No chance this fight ends like this. Show how great you are. Get up, finish this fight. That's what I did.
Let's see how much Kambosos has left.
We were going to see how hurt he was when he got up, and Lopez wasted no time and continued to hammer away.
Here comes Teo! Lopez going for the kill!
I knew that he was going to come guns blazing when he put me down, and I feel that he would have stopped any lightweight in the world at that stage. It would have been too much, but not this warrior, not this guy that was ready to die inside the ring.
He dug his heels in, he landed some shots back, he took a few more, and the bell went. There was a big feeling in the arena that the fight had just swung on its head in round 10.
I was thinking, this isn't over. The next 2 rounds, whoever wins these 2 rounds is probably going to win the fight.
Any other fighter, I believe, would have said, you know what, I've done enough tonight. I've earned my paycheck. I've earned my respect. I was there to win. I was ready to go out on the stretcher. I was ready to die in that ring to win this fight. So did what I had to do as a warrior, survive the round, come back strong, and round 11, 12, put on a masterclass.
He is now possibly 1 round away from the biggest win in Australian boxing history.
All those years, all those 1%ers, all those training that he never cheated himself, it always shows in the later rounds. I'm going to close out this show in style, and did he ever.
Australia's got to be going crazy right now.
And the most incredible thing happened. George Kambosos won rounds 11 and 12. And to come back and win those championship rounds after being put down was incredible. Incredible. And that